Hello, Ralph Sinkay with the remake of Visible Proof, Part 1. Who was the doorway man in the Altgens photo? He's on the left, standing next to the white column, with his shirt unbuttoned. Was it Lee Harvey Oswald or Billy Lovelady? Had to be one of them. And if it was Oswald, then everything in the Warren report is wrong. From the beginning, people thought it was Oswald, similar in body size, build, and proportions. Even their heads and faces compared well. And look at their clothes, both wearing a loose-fitting outer shirt, unbuttoned with a V-necked T-shirt. Clearly, Oswald was dressed that way. But was Lovelady? Well, here's a picture of Lovelady from shortly after the shooting. He doesn't look unbuttoned, and the shirt isn't opened and billowing and loose-fitting like Doorman's, and he looks stockier than Doorman. It certainly doesn't jump out at you that it's the same guy. But when this blow-up was released, it supposedly settled it, that it was Lovelady. And it was based on the pattern of the shirt being more plaid and checkered like Lovelady's, and the hairline being more receding like Lovelady's, and they claimed that minute facial measurements proved that it was Lovelady. But if you are well read on the assassination, you know that evidence is suspected of having been altered, including the Zapruder film, the medical evidence, the autopsy photos, the limousine, even President Kennedy's body. The Zapruder film was just a series of still photos that were rapidly sequenced. So if they could alter that, they could certainly have altered the Altgens photo. The plaid pattern on the shirt would have been very easy to alter because it was just a matter of imposing areas of darkness and light. Touching up the hairline would have been very easy. These evidences must be considered suspect. We should only consider the things that were unalterable, such as the physical form and fit and lay of the shirt, because it had already been seen with the naked eye in the original Altgens photo. Therefore, the shirt is the key to identifying the doorway man. It was a very unusual shirt that Oswald was wearing. On the left side, it folded over into a long lapel. And it doesn't matter whether it was a real lapel or a pseudo-lapel. It had the lay of a jacket. On YouTube, watch What Did Oswald See? It will show you the lapel very well. So there was a collar and a lapel, and at the top of the lapel, on the left side, there was a loop. You see, the top button did not close with a regular buttonhole. Instead, there was a loop, a separate piece of material that projected out from the lapel so that it could come across and secure the button on the other side. And you can see that loop in many of his pictures. And on the right side, it was different. It had a collar and below it just a small lapel. So there was a big lapel on the left and a small lapel on the right. How many shirts are cut like that? I've never seen any besides this one. And it gives us something to look for on Doorman's shirt. So, here they are, the two of them. Blow up the screen. Get out your magnifier. Notice that on their right, which is your left, both have a collar and a small lapel. It looks virtually identical. And on their left, which is your right, both have a long lapel. On Oswald, it looks like an outright jacket. And on Doorman, you know there is a long lapel there because his left side looks so thick and substantial compared to the right, which looks thin and flimsy. The material is folded over, doubled over on his left. And that's why it looks so much thicker and bulkier on that side. But when we try to examine Doorman's left collar, lo and behold, it's covered up. Those white stripes, which I'll explain later, just happen to be covering up that collar, that complex collar with the flap and the notch and the loop. How convenient. I will have more to say about that as we proceed. Stay with me. Ignore the staged picture of Lovelady from 1971, but to the right of that, compare Lovelady to Doorman and look at their collars. Different collars meant different shirts, meant different men.